Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 Breaking News.
Breaking news tonight. Take a look at this video of an explosion that happened in White City. An RV fire was reported as a result of this explosion. Just look at how thick those flames are. It was reported around 4:45 this afternoon along Highway 234. Dispatchers said the fire was threatening nearby structures. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Gravitt. We are tracking that breaking news from earlier this evening. Let's take a look at exactly where this fire was first reported. It looks to be the 800 block of Glass Lane is where that RV was said to have caught fire. Multiple callers reported explosions that ignited a fire with multiple structures in danger. And our reporter Samantha Cadera is on scene, and she is speaking to a neighbor who heard the explosion and saw the flames. We'll check in just a bit. We are reaching out to the Jackson County Fire District 3, and Samantha will continue to gather those details. We'll have more details coming up for you tonight at 6:30 and 11. And happening now, the timing of this fire perfectly aligns with how the city of Medford is working to keep the community prepared for wildfire. Right now, the city of Medford is hosting its second town hall of the year, giving residents a chance to ask about emergency preparedness and any other questions they may have. The event is at the Smolin Health Education Center, ending at 7 tonight, with participation from wards 2 and 4 counselors and several city departments. Topics included wildfire readiness, emergency alerts, and an open Q&A with city staff.
Just finished council goal settings, and what we're seeing is how much the council really wants to make sure that they're engaging with the public, that the public knows what's going on, so that we can get feedback and actually govern and develop policies that are priorities for them. And that's, that goes the same for me.
Mayor Zarasinski said that town halls like this one help shape future policy by giving residents a direct line of decision makers. Coming up tonight at 11, we'll have a closer look at that town hall for you. And right now, the California Fish and Wildlife Game Commission is discussing potential recommendations for changes to regulations of coyotes. Ranchers often have to kill them, threatening the landscape of human and livestock safety. The president of Siskiyou County Cattlemen's Association spoke about concerns for his livestock.
A lot of ranchers out there that haven't had issues with lions, bears, or wolves, but every cattle rancher I know has had either livestock killed or harmed by coyote.
And concerns for sheep and goats used for fuel reduction projects across California's landscape were also brought to attention in this meeting. While the North American model of wildfire conservation says that wildlife should only be killed for a legitimate reason, Siskiyou County Sheriff Jeremiah LaRue questioned why there's any need to change the regulations of coyotes if they are not endangered.
I want to kind of throw it out there in a big picture of if it's not broke, why fix it? And the people that are livestock producers in my community do an excellent job of being responsible and doing what is right and necessary to protect their livelihood. And so I don't see that there needs to be any type of change.
If regulations develop, Sheriff LaRue is asking for more transparency. The Game Commission said that right now there are no rules looking to be adopted. This agenda item was purely for the commission to hear community impacts. Now let's check in tonight with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for a look at conditions tonight. Matt.
Well, a lot of clouds out there. We're also tracking some light shower and sprinkle activity. 65 degrees currently in Medford. It's 66 in Mount Shasta, 59 in Klamath Falls, and 54 in Gold Beach. Lots of clouds throughout the region. We're sitting at 64 in Grants Pass. It's 63 degrees in Montague as well as Lakeview, and we're at 50 in Chemult. Temperatures today were a little bit warmer this afternoon than the last couple of days have been. Winds, though, have really picked up as the storm system has moved in. Sustained winds up over 20 miles per hour in Klamath Falls and Montague. So staying pretty breezy into this evening. A lot of precipitation across southern Oregon and northern California, but not all of this is reaching the ground. We'll have at least a slight chance of a shower, maybe some sprinkles as we head into this evening and tonight. That precipitation is fighting some pretty dry air at the surface, but we'll have the opportunity for some showers. Any precipitation amounts, though, will stay fairly light. Lows tonight down to 45 in Medford, 36 degrees in Klamath Falls. Again, this isn't going to add up to all that much. Any rainfall amounts won't be all in all that measurable for most spots. And then as we head on into tomorrow, we got a quiet day ahead, a mix of sun and clouds, and even a bit warmer than today. Highs will actually get back up closer to normal for this time of the year. I'll let you know how warm it's going to get tomorrow. We'll also talk about some changes arriving, though, just in time for the weekend coming up in just a bit.
And on to a follow-up tonight of the truck that drove into a dental clinic last week. The driver pleading not guilty to his DUI charges. Philip Hill pleaded not guilty to multiple charges, including felony assault and DUI. In court today, Hill claimed that he suffered a seizure while driving, causing him to slam into the dentist office. 2 people were injured, with one requiring major surgery. Hill, now held on $200,000 bail, is facing a mandatory 70-month prison sentence. His next court hearing is set for May 22nd. And the suspect in last week's shooting at Hawthorne Park that left one man critically injured also in the courtroom today. William Triplett pleading not guilty today to assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and possession of a firearm. He is in jail on $1 million bail, with a pretrial conference set for June 9th. And we are just 5 days away from the special district election, where you'll be deciding on hyper-local measures and elected officials, but the majority of people are not participating. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker shares more on this forgotten election.
Turning in your ballot in a general election, it's done by most registered voters as their civic duty. But as you can see today, in a special election, it's empty. Voters are casting their ballots for our local school and fire districts and much more. But this type of election sees some of the least voter turnout.
But unfortunately, these just don't get the notoriety. They don't spur the people to get out and vote as much as what, say, a presidential election or a midterm gubernatorial election would. As you can see, even just walking in the office, it's very quiet.
Currently, just over 9% of eligible voters have voted, with Walker estimating an 18 to 20% voter turnout this year. A minuscule number compared to the midterm elections' 60 to 65% turnout and the presidential election's 75% turnout. Walker says a lot of this has to do with candidates' lack of publicity.
Being infiltrated every single day with news media, with candidates sharing their platform and trying to ask for your vote, to where in these smaller elections that just doesn't seem to happen.
I asked local residents about the election, and the majority had no clue that one was going on. Did you know there was an election?
No, not at all. I feel like we should know if there was an election, right?
But those at the ballot box say it's not just a constitutional right, but a duty.
There's so many different people on this ballot, and it's really going to impact what happens here in Medford.
The folks who are in the library or the school boards, they're doing important work, and they're setting things that the rest of us live with.
It affects you immediately, especially local elections.
In Jackson County, I'm Rocky Walker.
And this morning, a structure fire at a large commercial building in Medford prompted a second alarm response. Fire officials are telling Damien Alvarado the smoke was first spotted near Food for Less just before 10:45 this morning.
That structure fire took off just around 10:45 a.m. this morning with black smoke coming out of the building. Now, Medford Fire and some other local fire departments like Jacksonville Fire all came on scene, including Medford Police Department, using chainsaws and getting to work quick. Medford fire crews responded within minutes to reports of smoke at a commercial property Thursday morning. Chief Eric Thompson says the fire was located in a 10-by-20 utility room filled with maintenance supplies.
Found that we did indeed have a working fire. Our first priority was, okay, it's a large facility. We need to make sure that there wasn't any occupants in it.
As smoke filled the entire facility, crews upgraded to a second alarm to bring in more support. A total of 5 engines, 2 ladder trucks, and 6 support companies responded. about 40 personnel in all.
We did have one firefighter have some real mild heat exhaustion, but he was treated at the scene and he's released and back to work.
The fire was under control within 40 minutes. Investigators are still working to determine what caused the fire. The building was empty at the time of the fire. The Medford Fire Department says the investigation remains ongoing. Reporting in Medford, I'm Damien Alvarado.
And it was a big day for our NAIA softball teams. The last home game of the season, win or lose for Oregon Tech and SOU. Luke Doughton has the highlights from Ashland.
Just before 1 p.m. on Thursday, Southern Oregon started celebrating punching their ticket to the NAIA World Series in Georgia. After the Raiders won, just on the other side of these hills and mountains behind left field, Oregon Tech also in action, taking on Midlands for the second time in 2 days. If they win, they're joining the Raiders in Georgia. Unfortunately, they fall short in the final game in Klamath Falls. Midland advances after winning 5-3. After the Vikings went up 1-0 in the first, Gina Allen stepped up to the plate in the third and delivered a 2 RBI single to take the lead back. The Vikings went on to score 4 unanswered runs before Sawyer Stenson got the last Owl run this game with a sac fly in the 6th. Despite the heartbreaking loss these girls are facing, the Lady Owls can hold their heads high. They end the season with a 45-11 record and a share of the Cascade Conference regular season title. For the seniors, it's their last game in an Owls uniform, but their impact on the program will be felt by the players moving up into their positions.
You know, those 4 young ladies in Casey Schmidt, JC Sievert, Marla Goodspeed, and Zoe Allen, you know, they're going to be missed in our program. I love those ladies like they're my own kids, and I just really appreciate all they've done to make Oregon Tech softball successful.
And some Ashland residents will have no power tomorrow morning. Take a look at your screens here. This is where the outage will affect the Northwest residence area. This is just part of a planned power outage by the City of Ashland's electric utility. However, the Ashland Community Hospital will not be impacted by this outage.